Before the video starts, I would like to say that these are serious spoilers, so if you are watching this video then you should have already seen Season 4 of The Boys. Season 4 of The Boys is finally complete, and especially in the last episode, of course, the regulars of the Theorists have reunited and are once again churning out one theory after another. We only had 8 episodes, but who cares? Because for most people, Season 4 was apparently a complete waste of time anyway. Nevertheless, I quite enjoyed it, and especially the last episode was really good in my opinion. In the last episode we got some information for the upcoming Season 5, which is supposed to be the last one. Among other things, that Ashley had been ordered to terminate every single human person from the Vought Tower. Quitting soup style, of course. When Ashley, Homelander, handed over the list, he gave each of his 3 remaining colleagues, Firecracker, Black Noir and The Peak, the task of accomplishing this. The Peak, however, had the great idea that Ashley was the person who was most dirty and therefore planned to dispossess her as well. What they didn't know, apart from Homelander, was that she had heard everything. Homelander had heard, but he didn't give a damn. He was only human Ashley, so Ashley was anything but happy to have heard that and made her way to Homelander's room to inject herself with Compound V, since it was definitely a matter of life and death for her now. Just before she disappeared for the last time from the last episode, she went down on her knees after the injection and her head started to form. So what could be her new ability or abilities? I have several theories on this. As we all know, or rather can think of, the powers you get from Compound V are based on how you are psychologically built by the character or by events that happened to you at the time. Like Huey, for example, who got teleportation powers through temporary VOV. The reason for this could be that his character seems to be the anxious one, at least in the first episodes of The Boys, who wants to escape every unpleasant situation directly. However, the reason could also be that A-Train, with whom he had a big beef back then because he had turned his then girlfriend into red paint, has speed as a power. So his only option was to be even faster than the fastest man on the planet, and that was just teleportation. But it wasn't just Huey, it was a similar case with Butcher when he got powers similar to Homelander's through temporary V. We all know their story too well. The question that arises now, of course, and what the video is actually about, is what Ashley's power could be. Ashley became CEO of Vought after the departure of Stan Edgar, and she has actually done a good job so far. We have seen her in many situations where she always had a good plan to avoid a bad situation, be it manipulative or tactical. Since we've already seen, as explained earlier, that her head had started to form at the end of her screen time in the episode, we can assume that this is a psychological and not a physical force. And if we add up one from what I said earlier, then we could assume that she could possibly get telepathy or even mind control. Ashley's potential power of mind control or persuasion would be a natural extension of her existing skills and responsibilities. In her role, Ashley is constantly required to manage public perception, spin narratives, and manipulate media to maintain Vaught's image. The ability to influence minds directly would amplify her effectiveness in controlling how people perceive events and respond to crises. This power would not only make her more formidable in handling Vaught's numerous scandals, but also provide her with a means to exert more control in an environment where she often feels powerless. Alternatively, telepathy would grant Ashley the ability to read minds, providing her with an invaluable tool to navigate the treacherous waters of corporate politics and soup management. Given her position, being able to anticipate the thoughts and plans of both allies and adversaries would give her a significant strategic advantage. This power would resonate with her need to stay ahead in a constantly shifting landscape where knowing what others are thinking could mean the difference between success and catastrophic failure. Illusion creation is another power that would suit Ashley's background well. As a PR executive, her job is essentially about crafting illusions, presenting the best possible image of Vought and its soups while hiding the less savoury aspects. This power would allow her to create convincing false realities, helping her manage public perception more effectively and deal with threats in a creative and deceptive manner. So something like Kate, but that would be too easy and not original. At least I would say so, and here comes my absolute random theory. What if she got a power that has to do with her hair that she doesn't have? So what if she gets snake-like hair and becomes similar to Medusa? As we all know, she has a mighty problem with her hair. And in episode 7, right after A-Train took off, Ashley saw a picture of herself wearing braids, which I think slightly resembles Medusa's snake hair. Ashley was also deeply embedded in Vaught's PR and crisis management, often needing to maintain control over chaotic situations. The power to manipulate her hair like Medusa could symbolise her desire for control and the ability to manage and manipulate her environment directly. This ability could give her a tangible way to grasp and control situations. But that would be my theory. But no matter what power she gets, what do you think? Will Ashley end up becoming the absolute supervillain and the boys have to team up with Homelander and co to fight her? Post it in the comments, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and otherwise I'll see you next time.